This is Tim McCormack, and you are on Finance Agents Live. Thanks for joining us again today. We're always excited to have you here. This is the fourth show we've ever done for Finance Agents, and it is an interesting one for us because we're going to be responding to current events. One of the things that I've learned throughout the years as we proceed through the process of helping people get funding is that the economy shifts a lot, as we already know, but there's a good impact, there's a big impact on us for the different economic events as it relates to how we help people get funding. So we're always looking for people in different situations, and right now we've had a lot of big things happening that have led to changes in the market. Before we get started, just a request, if you could invite friends and coworkers to subscribe to us on YouTube, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/financeagents. We really appreciate your support. The more you get the word out there, the more that we can help different people. The reality is there's always a huge group of people that are underserved by the banks that have no idea how to get funding in different situations, and that's just the reality. Surprisingly, it's always like this, and we have a number of different ways that we work with people in order to get the word out that funding is available for all the different situations. And I'll go through those real quick just so you understand what they are, and then today we're going to be doing an interview with one of our member offices. But we're finance agents. We're in the middle of a network we have over 250 lenders and exclusive funding providers we work with across 6 different primary funding categories, a lot of different types of financing. Because over the years, we've constantly been looking for new ways to help people. We started out with one product, and it was great. We could help people in this situation. And when we added something else, now we can help this many people. Now this many people. More and more people we've been able to help as we add different products. A couple years ago, we expanded even more to go beyond one specific funding office to work through a network of funding offices that we call member offices all throughout the country. And we have around 50 of them right now. And they get their referrals from a huge network of over 20,000 people that refer people to them when they need funding. So that is an overall review of our structure. And today we're going to be talking specifically to a member office. So again, the ways we help people get funding for their business. That's the primary way, business or investments. We have people that refer people to us for funding. That's another way that we work with people. We work with recruiters. We have recruiters that just go out and find new finance agents for us. And we have member offices, people that want to open or grow a funding company using our system. That's who we're going to be talking to today. And then finally, we have network, lenders and funding providers that come through us in order to provide funding. So again, that's a review of our structure. Now to talk about the current situation. As you know, right now it's September 13th, 2016. If you're seeing this later, then you would know that we just got done with a couple of the worst hurricanes we've seen in a long time. Back-to-back hurricanes, one that hit Houston really badly, was there for days upon days and created a ton of flooding. And then we just had another hurricane that just hit Florida. So because of this, we have lots of companies that are coming to us saying, hey, my business was doing great, but now I don't know what's going to be happening over the next month. I need money to support me through the problem time. Or, hey, business is up right now because everybody needs my services and I need money to buy more supplies or to bring on more drivers or to hire more contractors or to bring in materials from out of state because right now so many people need help that my business is up. Those are the two situations. Business is either affected, maybe their business location got flooded and they need repair work, or they are a disaster recovery company and now their business has gone through the roof. So those are the two general buckets that people fall into. Interestingly enough, we just recently, before all this happened, signed up a new member office who is in Houston, Texas. And so we've been working through the process with him of each of our member offices picks a very specific group of people that they dedicate their life and their times to helping, to providing funding for. So Andres in Houston, Texas, we were in the middle of going through this process, and he just completed the market focus workbook that we go through. If you're curious to know the process we go through, you can go back and listen to a few trainings that we've had over the last week where we describe exactly how this process is. So I've actually got his initial results here, and we're deciding across all the different types of funding what are going to be the ones he's going to be focusing on, who specifically he's going to be working with. So I've got his initial results, And today I'm going to call him on the phone, and we're going to be talking about his answers and how we're going to apply them. So I'm literally going to give him a call right now. He knows I'm going to be calling. This is the first time we're doing a live call, so cross your fingers. Cross your fingers that nothing breaks. Andres.
Hello.
Hey, Tim McCormack here. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Hey, excellent. If you could mute the sound in the background so we don't get the feedback. Awesome. Perfect. Hey, so thanks again for agreeing to come on to the live training to discuss your market strategy. Before we get started, why don't you just kind of give a little background on, what you've done in the past, what you've been doing, how you found out about us, and why you decided to sign up with us.
Okay. My background is in sales. I've been doing sales for over 20 years. I've done membership sales. I'm pretty wide across the board. I've done currency. I've done commodities. I've done oil and gas. I've been in finance. So
you were doing you were selling programs for Forex traders, or are you doing the Forex trading yourself?
I was actually doing the trading myself. I was doing it at a time when the euro was trying to reach parity with the dollar, so it was pretty much on the incline every day. So all you had to do was go in there and catch a few points, get in and get out.
That's great. Well, good. That sounds interesting. So you've done a lot of different stuff. What have you been doing the last couple of years?
I went into insurance, and I liked insurance, but I love the thrill of closing big deals. So that's what kind of brought me back into financing, because if you structure your deals right, I got used to large commission.
Okay.
And I like those. It feels good to close big deals. I'm not gonna lie on that. And
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with loving what you do.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I ran into a problem to where the banks. It was just hard around 2006 and 2007. Everything started start changing. So you're constantly trying to find programs that can get funding. And the problem I ran into before, and I'm so glad that I have this opportunity now, was I was working with a broker. And you know how far down the chain you are. You might be working with a broker of a broker of a broker. So you kind of get discouraged because your deals are not being worked on as fast and things of that nature. So I just kept looking for ways. And then I found you guys when you was a finance store. And I sent some deals in, but I wasn't really as focused as now that I see with the member office opportunity. It's much better because now I'm the direct lender. I understand what's going on the backside. I have a great strategist that helps me and everything. Melissa's been very helpful with everything so far. And
great.
Even though I have my niche that I'm creating, I'm still, like right now, I have a potential $5 million SBA deal that's being looked at with you guys. I'm working on pretty much with a company right now about funding for their whole program. And they have over 50 coaches that they want me to be their funding source for. So
great.
Everything's great right now.
Well, good. Awesome. That sounds like we're off to a good start. Beyond that, and then the hurricane hit, right? So you were signing up with us before the hurricane hit, right?
Yeah, that hurricane knocked some stuff out. But I was coming in during the process, and just to let you know, our houses were good. So no one lost homes, no one lost anything. The only person that lost something was me, because I wanted to go watch the Mayweather fight. So my car kind of took a bath, but it can be fixed. But
All right. Well, that happens. Good. Okay. Well, good. It sounds like you got some stuff in the works with us already, and you're just in the process of really getting started. So it's always an exciting time. I've got your workbook here, and we're going to go through it together. It starts with talking about your target products. But I just want to tell you something else. Just sort of one of the things that we're thinking about as we go through this discussion is that there's two ways to look at what happened with the hurricane. One is obviously the bad side, right? A lot of people were negatively impacted. On the other side of it, when you have a lot of people that are negatively impacted, you have a lot of people that need help, and you're going to have, at least for the next few years, a tremendous opportunity to help a lot of people that the banks are going to pull out from. I don't know if you know this, but one of our inside people at Bank of America last week told us that Bank of America has officially stopped all home loan and commercial loan applications in the entire state of Texas. So literally,
Yes,
and that's happening at a lot of the big banks.
That's correct.
Yeah, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are rewriting the criteria for the state. What that means is that, and lenders for a long time are going to be super nervous about lending in the area, and our biggest opportunity generally is filling those massive holes that the large institutional lenders leave. And so you're going to have a lot of people, a lot of businesses that were affected that need help. So beyond the stuff that we have here, you're going to have a tremendous local opportunity for people that need assistance, and they're not going to be able to get it through the traditional means, which is really when we shine and can help a lot of people. So I'm just mentioning that. All right, so first of all, in order to start the process, the first thing that we do is, this got out of order somehow. I think maybe I missed the first page. Weird. Here it is. All right, so first start with your target product. That got left off here somehow. So we have 6 different product categories that we fund in, as you know: retirement rollovers, term loans, commercial real estate, equipment finance, revenue advances, and the credit card program. Those are in alphabetical order, no other order than that.
Right.
So on those products, which of those do you have prior experience with, either with us or externally?
The BDRA, the UBF, and I have working knowledge of all of them. And the 3 that I picked was the BDRA, which is the one with the 401k rollover, the UBF, which is the credit cards, and the RBA, which is the revenue-based advance. Because the way my mind works is it's easy for me to I'm calm in chaos. It makes sense for me to have 3 products because it's able to be cross-sell. I can cross-sell it.
You're calm in chaos.
I'm calm in chaos.
All right.
It works better for me to multitask. And so the reason I picked those 3 programs, because I kind of already knew what my target market and what I wanted to do with this program. And those 3 programs give me 3 bullets. Like, I want to work, as you're going to see as we go through this, my target is startup businesses, like home-based businesses and franchises under $100,000.
Okay.
And these 3 programs give me 3 bullets to go in.
That's great. Okay. Well, good. The first thing that we like to talk about first of all, as we discussed, if you have prior experience with a product, then it's always good to start with what you already know. You've been on my training, so you heard me say it 20 times already.
Right.
Start with what you know and not what you don't know. So have you done a retirement rollover through us or through some other company in the past?
I've done 1031 exchanges in commercial real estate.
Okay. All right. So great. The BDRA product is awesome in the sense that it's really easy. In your area, the retirement rollover has a good and bad to it, right? The good thing is it's the absolute best possible way to finance a business because you're growing your business without debt and you're your own investor. So instead of paying interest to a bank, you're really paying interest or a return to yourself. There's no better way to do it than that. That's the good side. The bad side is a lot of people are very careful about touching the retirement funds, even if they know it's better. They may, think they know it's better, but they just won't touch it. Now, with the current situation that just happened, you're going to have a lot of companies in the area that are willing to consider options that they previously didn't. So I think you might have a huge opportunity for retirement rollovers for people who they're not going to be able to get financing other ways, right? Maybe 1 month ago, they could have walked into the bank and gotten a loan. Now they walk into the bank and the bank says, we're not accepting any loan applications right now at all. And they think, I need money right away. This would be a way relatively quickly in order to get retirement rollover funds. So that's a good opportunity. So BDRA and our UBF, which is our credit line program for people with good personal credit, where you can get, say, $100,000 in business credit cards. Those programs often go very well together, especially for a franchise or a small business space that you're talking about. It's working capital and investment funds. A lot of people getting a franchise are already mentally prepared for using the retirement fund. So those 2 programs I see working very well together, and I see that being a good mix. Now, the revenue advance is sort of an odd duck in that one. So how do you see that working into the product? Because the other 2 are most frequently used by startups or new companies, and revenue advance, of course, is not applicable to a startup company. How do you see that mixing together?
Okay, so the reason why I went with RBA and as you're going to see as we go through this, by me targeting home-based business and business opportunities, I'm working with affiliate agents who have people coming to them to buy their program. So what it does is, the way that my strategy is if they have perfect credit, I can go with the UBS. If they don't have perfect credit, it gives me the opportunity to say, well, do you have retirement? I have the BDRA. Mm-hmm. If they don't have that, some of these people already have businesses and they're looking to get into other business. Like, for instance, one of the deals I'm sending in today is a guy who's looking to get around $70,000, $80,000 to invest in another business. Now, he has a business that deals in fitness that he's owned for 2 or 3 years that's doing over $100,000 a month.
Okay, great.
So like I say, it gives me that 1, 2, 3 punch, and also it's kind of like with kids. This is an analogy I gave to somebody else. They started laughing, but it made sense. If you give one kid a piece of candy, the other kid's going to want something. Right. So even though my niche is going after startups and I'm pitching to startups, you're always going to have a friend of theirs like, well, what about me? I'm in business. I need money. You got a program for startups. Well, I can help you too. Right. That's why I have the RBA. Okay.
Well, good. That makes sense. So I'm glad that you understand that there are somewhat different markets, and for you, it's going to be, your primary one will be going after the startups or people buying into the business opportunities or franchises. That'll be your primary direction, and you rightly know that as you market one type of funding, you're going to get everything. So that makes a lot of sense. All right, now after the target product, the next thing is to figure out your target client. So first of all, geography, you're in Houston. How long have you been in Houston?
I've been in Houston my whole life. I was in the military. I traveled the country, and I recently lived in Las Vegas. I used to live on Las Vegas Boulevard in Sky Las Vegas for 3 years, from 2010 to 2013, and then I recently moved back to Houston. So I've been in Houston ever since.
Okay, great. So you have a strong network locally. You know the area. That's good. And so when you think about doing, so you mentioned that you planned on going through referral sources. And do these tend to be local or outside of your local area?
Since I've been in network marketing, I have referral sources. Believe it or not, my strongest referral source is out of Nevada, out of Las Vegas.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
So with the way that I looked at it is like, okay, you want to work smarter, not harder. Instead of me going after 100 people and pitching 100 people, I'm just going to pitch a person who already markets to 100 people. Like, I have one of my agents is a guy who's a network marketer. He has a program that he sells that he has people that come to him all day long to buy this product.
Great.
He sends me his clients. So therefore, I'm working with managers who are already working with people.
That's
therefore,
perfect.
I don't have to really create marketing to get 100 people in, because I'm teaching, most of the agents that I'm bringing on board are already affiliates that are making money with another company. And so my pitch to them is, when I go to them, it's like, so you sell a product. Yeah. I say, well, how many people are you losing? I lose about, and they say, I may lose 5 or 6 sales. Or I say, what if I can get you back 20% of the people that you're losing every month?
Right.
Would it be worth assaulting? Of course, they say yes, because now I add added benefit to them. Now they can sell their premium package instead of their bottom packages and make more commission.
Right. Okay. That's perfect. Honestly, that is, and so it takes some people a while to get this, really. Not everybody thinks the same way as you do, but that's the exact perfect way in order to use our agent referral system, is to tie into people that already have a steady stream of prospects. A lot of people come in and they try to find people who aren't marketing and teach them to market. And it can work, if you keep trying long enough. Anybody can do this. It's not that complicated. But if you tie in with people that are already connected, then, like you said, you start day one with good referrals. And when we can offer funding as an added value to somebody else who's already providing something else and the money goes with it very well, that is the perfect way to market our system. So you're starting off pretty strong. I'm not going to lie. That's you've already learned some of the stuff that takes other people a long time to figure out. Okay, so industries that you have experience in: business development, funding, and we talked about that a little bit, real estate, insurance, clubs, MLM, home-based business. You have a pretty diverse background, but it looks like the way you're tying it all together is is to target people that are purchasing business opportunities or franchises under 100K.
Right.
And you already have the referral structure for that, which is awesome. I just want to mention that in your area, there's going to be an opportunity for a lot of people. There are a lot of disaster recovery franchises. 911 restoration to be one that we've done a lot of fundings for in the past, but there's a lot more. And they should each sell 3 or 4 franchises in your area over the next while. I would be reaching out to them because they should have a lot of people coming to them. Because right now there's going to be a ton of business, like I said, for the next 3 years. That might be a good one for you to reach out to. We might even be able to give you a connection there because we've done fundings in the past. All right.
Yes, that was something I was going to ask you guys, because I know with the devastation that just happened, you're going to have a bunch of companies rushing in. Mm-hmm. And I still want to have my niche funding, but like I said, I do want to pick your brain and get more ideas as well.
For sure. We've been hearing a lot from different people we work with. Some of the biggest opportunities, some of the companies that are going to be growing the most. Again, you got 2 situations. People that are affected, and that's going to be across the board, just who's in the wrong area, the places they're going to need disaster recovery. But businesses that are going to be strapped for capital because they have so much business right now would be trucking businesses, anybody in construction at all, because there's going to be a lot of construction. There could be a lot of auto sales because people's cars that were permanently damaged, they're going to be getting insurance money. You're going to need to buy new cars. The restoration companies that I talked about, there's a lot of those. I would think out of all those, construction is going to be the one that's going to get the biggest, longest residual boom from this, because as you know, there's going to be a ton of that. So, but it doesn't mean you have to change your focus, because there's going to be a lot of people buying into opportunities, or maybe people lost their jobs because the company they worked at closed because it got flooded, and now they're figuring out what to do next. They've been working for a while, they have some money saved up, and now they want to take the step to go work on their own. That's a good opportunity too. So I didn't expect you to be as set up as you were when I got started, so I'm very excited about that. But don't miss out on the local opportunities, because there's going to be a ton, especially because the traditional lenders aren't going to be lending. Okay, so moving on. That's the target client. So what we talked about is you're going to be targeting, let's see, you just moved. You're going to be targeting startups looking for new franchises in your area. All right, so next we got the target situation. And for target situation, we got 4 primary categories that they fall into. You're either talking to successful, experienced clients, or distressed clients, startups, or inexperienced clients, or clients seeking funds for some sort of a purchase, real estate or business purchase. So yours is like kind of a combo. Startups or people looking to buy a business. People looking to buy a startup business, right? Okay.
Right.
So good. And what do you think are some of the implications of working with startups, inexperienced clients? Any type of funding, there's the upside and the downside. And of course, you want to be prepared for the downside so that you can capitalize on the upside. What do you think is the downside of startups?
Anytime you're working with startups, the things that you're going to notice is the inexperience. Like, sometimes when people are looking to start up, you're going to get people all across the board. You're going to get the daydreamer who has been dreaming about opening a business, but they're not going to do anything. And then you're going to get the people that are ready to go. They just don't know where to go. Uh-huh. So in your initial conversation, you're going to learn to read people out. Like, I have people that I've spoken to already. It's like, I would like to have a startup. Okay, so what type of business? Well, I don't know what type of business. I just know I want to own something. Okay.
Right.
You're going to get those people. And then you're going to get the people that come to you that have everything put together. Like, hey, I want to start this business. I got this. My credit's not good, but I don't know where to go. I like those people because you can give them hope.
Right.
So those are the people you want to work with. And then if they're serious, they're going to push you. They're going to be calling you like, hey, I got I sent you an email. Did you get it? Yes, I got it. Hey, I got that document. Did you get it? Yes. Hey, I got this. Do you need this? Those are the people you're going to want because they're going to push you.
Right. Okay. Perfect. One of the things that I would say you want to look for is, specifically is good credit. Because somebody doesn't have a business with cash flow to fall back on, you're going to want to be finding out about their credit and their resources as quick as possible. I got a call the other day from someone who wanted to buy a $10 million building, and had no money, bad credit, and had never done a purchase, anything like that before. And I don't know. It blows me away, honestly. I don't know how people think, who's going to give somebody $10 million to buy a building when you own no assets? So, one thing you want to remember is you want to get through those people as fast as possible. Not in a negative way, of course. Ask the tough questions as quick as you can so you don't waste any time with somebody that's impossible to help. Give them direction on what they could do. Go find a credit partner, come back, or something. But definitely don't spend a lot of time on it, because in this business, all you have is time, and how you use your time is going to determine whether or not you're able to help a lot of people, or you're stuck talking to people forever that you can't provide any help to at all. So, okay, good. So you're looking at startups, inexperienced clients. So what you want is somebody with resources and credit. Retirement rollover, that's resources, and credit for the credit card program. And then RBAs or fallback. Okay, great. So let's talk about the specific situations. You have a few situations listed here. People looking for franchises will be good for a BD-Ray program. That's very true, because they're already prepared to do it. People are looking to work from home. Work from home is an interesting avenue for us because, again, as you probably already know, banks hate work from home businesses. They hate them. And so we love them. Anything the banks hate, we love, because we've got ways to get them financing, and the banks will kick them out the door every time. So if you're at a work-from-home business and you have been turned down for funding, give us a call or call Andres, and we'd be happy to help you out. Are people looking to expand their current businesses? RBA works for that. Specifically, startups. How would you know if someone is looking to do a startup in your area? What would be the signals that you're looking for?
Okay, so when it comes to startups, pretty much through the people that I'm working with. I'm already working with affiliates who they're already talking to. Mm-hmm. So I'm working with the affiliates and the brokers, and they have people come to them. Like, their marketing is set up to attract those people. So I just work with those people, and those people are calling me, emailing me, giving me names of, hey, I got this guy. So right now, with just one or two agents, that's how I've been able to get all the business. And dealing with the hurricane, we're getting ready to ramp up next week. I'm having a meeting with all my people about the programs that I designed and how we're going about this. And it's going to ramp up that way because, like I say, I'm working with people who's already spent the money networking. Their businesses is spending the money to network to attract the people. So therefore, I don't have to be good at marketing. I'm better at sales and marketing. So right. I'm good at management. I know I'm not good at marketing, so work with people that are great at marketing and let them bring me to people.
It's perfect, man. That is exactly why we created the agent program. Marketing is tough, right? There's people that are incredibly good at marketing, or people that have these existing referral streams that you could tap into, and that's exactly what the structure is for. So you really hit the nail on the head. So that's good. And then if you ever need more people, just find more peoples like that can bring them to you. And that's what the next section is, right? Normally we figure out your target situation and then a target agent. You already have the referral sources, so I don't really need to talk to you about that. But if you wanted to bring on more referral sources, what do you think you would do? How would you do that?
So if I wanted to bring on more referral sources, there's two ways that I could do it. Let me see what I put on here. Because, you have network marketing through Facebook, social media, things of that nature. But this is where I looked at it. I look at it this way, and this is something I'm teaching my agents to do. I teach my agents to go out and find these same sources. Go out and find your affiliate sources that's going to send you leads. Once they send you enough leads, I'm moving my agents up to become managers and things and doing something a little bit different. And then they're going to go back to the sources that were sending them leads and say, hey, Tim, you've been sending me all this business. Would you like to make money doing this? And yes, he's going to want to do it because guess what? He's been making money off being able to sell his program. So now he gets to make commission from his company plus money from my company. Of course, they're going to sign up. Right.
Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, if you have people that are going to refer other people in, you can always get them to upgrade to the recruiter level, get a little commitment from them so you get rid of the looky-loos, and then they're really invested and they get an increased commission. So there's that too. So perfect. That is really our system. I mean, you've nailed it. So you already know your tactics. You've got a bunch of stuff listed here, but you're gonna be doing the best through working with your existing people and get them to refer other people in a similar situation. They refer people to you for funding. So that's a 1-2 punch. You got this nailed. I'm going to summarize and go through what we have listed as your initial marketing strategy. You're going to be targeting retirement rollovers, credit card clients, and working capital as a fallback. You're looking for work from home and business opportunities or small cap franchises in your area. Looking for people that want to start them, and you're going to be getting the leads through existing referral sources where people are coming to them in order to buy the opportunities. So you have exactly what you need in order to put it all together. So that's good. So the next step after this is to make sure that your marketing that you have is consistent with your target focus. And so that's what the next page is. And we wrote out some options for your landing page. I think we have a screenshot of your current landing page right now. Your brand is Level Finance, and while it doesn't say that you're working with startups or franchises, really doesn't need to. The brand is a good solid one as it is. So right on the page right now it says, tell us about your business and we'll find you funding. But what we're looking to change it to is, we help you get to the next level of finance. Come see what Level Finance can do for you. So that sounds good. I think it might be a little bit long. We'll try putting it up on the page and see how it looks, and we'll play with it a little bit.
Yeah, we can do that. We can.
It also said, I skipped the first part. We're supposed to pick which landing page. Do you have an opinion on which of our landing pages you want to set as your primary?
I would probably take your recommendation that you recommended, the short one. I think which one? I can't remember. I think it was option 3.
Option 3, right. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with option 3. And I want to give you credit for one thing.
Thanks.
This workbook
yeah.
made this so easy. Like, you don't understand. If you talk to Melissa, because Melissa Miner is my strategist, and when I was going through the other thing for his goals, let me tell you, I had to walk around the block, sit down, walk around the block, smoke, sit down. I could not get it. And I understand the market. I understood what I wanted to do. And
right.
I want to say that Melissa has helped out because it was more of her idea to recruit agents, because I came in and was like, no, but then she kind of helped me know, here's why you want to do it. So I said, yeah, you know what, she's right. So then I started doing the marketing that, and then you sent the workbook out, and
Great.
The workbook made it easy. So it really helped. I had it in my head, but it helped me get it to paper, because I have stuff in my head, but sometimes when I got to write it down and start thinking about marketing, and it's just that word marketing. It's like, but
right.
This worksheet actually helped out, so I want to thank you for that.
Oh, perfect. Well, I'm glad that helped. We had a lot of people in your situation where it was even 3 or 4 months later, and they still weren't exactly sure what they were doing. So I'm glad we could put this together and get everybody streamlined a little bit. So good. We'll go with option 3, and we've got some bullet points. We're going to need to stick them up there and make sure that they all fit. They look like they might be a little bit long and a little bit repetitive. Remember, when we write these bullet points, what we want to write is, you know your target client. You're looking for somebody who's going to buy into a business opportunity of 100K or less. What we want to do is just hit all their pain points, right? Get approved no matter what your credit is. That's for a retirement rollover. Get funding with 0% interest, where you earn the interest or something like that. Those are 2 that are potentially, that's not perfectly worded, but 2 that are good for the retirement rollover. For the credit card program, financing for startups available. Get up to $100,000 in funding from the banks, sometimes 0% interest. Credit card program can also come with 0% interest financing. And so we'll play with these a little bit and get something up. But that should be good. All right, well, that is pretty much it for the workbook. I really appreciate you coming on to this so other people can hear the process you're going through. I think some other people are going to be a little bit jealous of how quickly you came to a pretty solid strategy where you're going to get a lot of referrals. Anybody who's referring deals to you, as soon as you get the first couple clients funded, they'll be yours for years, right? These are the people that you work with for the next 5 years, and they'll send you 2 or 3 slam dunks a month. Next thing you know, you're doing 10 deals a month. That's obviously our goal with you. Now, do you have any questions for me about this process? I'm happy to help in any way.
Well, I want to contact you guys as far as, just peeking and tweaking, kind of like he was giving me the bullet points. And also, as far as other strategies, kind of like I have a new agent that's in New York, and one of the things I was telling him was kind of like your niche that you're good at, and his was real estate. And what I've told him was, even though we're going to have a niche funding, we're going to be able to do, we'll be able to, to close other deals. And so, just working with you guys, like one thing I can say is you guys are very helpful. Anytime I need to speak to Melissa,
Great.
I can speak to Melissa. Anytime I needed to speak to, I think, the guy who does the IT, is over IT department.
Darren, yeah, he runs all our tech,
Darren.
runs all of our tech, yeah. He's helpful.
Right,
for sure.
Darren's been there. Also, the lady, I want to say Jessica, who does the RBA. Is it Jessica? I'm thinking she's going to choke me. Juliet.
Right.
I've been able to get people on the phone. Even when I need to speak to underwriting, Jeremy, he's available. Mm-hmm. And I actually called your phone yesterday, and you answered. I was like, well, CEO answered the phone. And I spoke to you.
Great. All right. Well, awesome, man. I appreciate it.
You guys are very helpful.
Well, good. We're glad to help and very excited to be working with you. So, again, thanks a ton for coming on. We appreciate it, and we look forward to doing a lot of deals together in Houston. I guess we haven't talked too much about, we spent a lot of the time talking about you because, frankly, I didn't think that you'd have your structure so lined up. I thought we'd be talking more about the area. So just, think about local people that could refer people to you in a similar structure. You have a ton of people that need funding in the area, and we're actually very well positioned to help. We're the opposite of the banks. The banks are pulling out, and we're ramping up. We're actually going to be doing a series of interviews over the next week with different people we have someone from the SBA lined up for next week who does SBA disaster recovery loans. We have a couple more lenders we're going to talk about. What are the implications of different types of funding? Every type of funding is going to be different. Banks are pulling out, but you have private real estate lenders are going to be ramping up because they know that there are going to be a lot of opportunities. So we have that. Some of the alternative lenders that are not bank driven, they're going to be jumping on the opportunity. Some of our short-term working capital lenders have suspended payments for businesses in the affected area because otherwise it's going to be just ugly. So there are concessions, but also limitations. So we're going to be doing some trainings over the next week where we talk about that, and you should definitely be on those so you can understand when you're going to be getting people around you looking for money. That was one of the things when I first got into this 10 years ago, I found the group of guys I was going to be working with, and I was driving home. I stopped at the dry cleaner. Dry cleaner asked what I was doing, and I said, well, I'm helping people get money. And she said, wow, can I get a loan? That's what I knew I was in the right business. Literally the first person I told asked for a loan. So, a lot of people need money, and especially in your area right now. So,
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Just real quick. The only reason why I haven't looked at the disaster stuff, because I know usually from being in banking and finance that when something like this happens, the banks usually pull back, and it's like 3 months before they come in and assess what they're going to do. But as you find out what programs would work, that we're going to have, I will be interested in that because, I know a bunch of real estate investors, flippers, realtors and things of that nature. And I haven't touched that market because being in Houston is kind of oversaturated.
Right.
You do have a lot of banks and investors and things of that nature. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't go into real estate in the Houston area because it's flooded. But
pun intended.
But now, now that I didn't think about that until you said it, but now it sounds so terrible. A lot of those people are not going to be able to do anything. So that kind of opens the doors again,
and not just short term.
Terrible.
We're talking for at least 3 years. At least 3 years. I mean, Katrina, they're still, 10 years later, they're still digging out. So it's not even a short-term opportunity. There's a long period of time where people need help, and the banks are going to be super conservative, and they're going to pull back. And it's your chance to get in and help your local people get all sorts of funding. So just roughly talking through, you talked about BDRAs being one of your primary products. That obviously has zero impact at all. You can go to people who never would have touched their retirement accounts before. They need money. They can get it at 0% interest, and 2 or 3 years from now when their business is growing, they put it back in the retirement account with an increase, which is benefiting themselves. So instead of paying anybody else, retirement rollover is awesome for your area right now. Absolutely no problems with that one. For the credit card program, it is going to get a little harder in your area because that is through the major banks. So we are going to see a decrease in approvals there, but it's still available. People on their own literally are going to get nothing if they don't know how to position their business when they're presenting it in the application process, as we do. They're going to get turned down right away. So you can provide a lot of help locally for that. All you need is somebody with good credit. And by the way, you want to get to them soon before their credit turns. You can have a lot of people with great credit who are going to start missing payments in the next 2 months. And if you can get to them before they start missing payments and get them extra working capital, they may never miss a payment because they're able to have that lifeline. A lot of people run businesses with no cushion, and if we can get them 100 grand, now they can make it through the downturn. So good opportunity for the credit card program there. Revenue advances, which is short-term working capital loans. There is going to be a decrease in lending. These are non-bank lenders though, so it's not going to be anything like the banks. And these lenders are going to understand why somebody all of a sudden, if it's a restaurant and revenues went down, they're going to understand and be willing to work with that situation. Now, the reality is it's going to be expensive financing, but you already know that, and people have to be prepared for it. But it's fast. Again, you can get a loan within 2 or 3 days. A loan over 50 grand where they will need a site inspection done, that's probably going to be delayed. It's going to be harder to order site inspections with everything going on, but it can still happen. And again, you want to get the word out soon before they start getting a lot of defaults on their current financing. Term loans.
And you forgot sorry.
Term loans are already slow. We know that term loans can happen in a month, but they can also take 3 to 6 months. Term loans are going to be the ones more affected in the area because this is with the major banks, and they're going to want to go out and see the impact before they lend. With that said, good businesses who qualified for a term loan but maybe didn't have a need for the funding now have a need, and the banks are going to understand that. And the SBA has disaster recovery programs, which we're going to be looking into. Those could be a good fit for that. Now, I don't know enough about it to guide you on that right now, but I've heard that the qualification process is very easy for the SBA disaster recovery loans. The hard part is just availability and getting through and access. And since we have special contacts inside, we'll be able to get access when other people won't. So there's an opportunity there. Equipment finance is good. It's only going to be marginally affected because they've got the extra collateral of the equipment. And private money loans, CRE, you're going to see people who previously wouldn't take one of these loans, that they're going to need it. And even though it's 12% interest, it's so much cheaper than some of the other types of financing that you're going to get, of all the programs, you're going to see the most increase in local private money lending on real estate. That's probably going to get the biggest increase. Of course, because they're going to be taking on a lot of risk. With the flooding, you don't know what's going to happen. You're going to see people walking away from their properties and other flippers that want to come in and buy up these properties. And so there's going to be a big need for that as well. If you know local people, it's time to talk to them about having us hook up. All those are going to be a little bit slower. The only one 100% unaffected is the retirement rollover.
Right.
But the money you can make on helping people get the real estate loans is so much more that you might, in some ways, want to focus on. I don't want to sit here and tell you to focus on 6 different things. I mean, the whole purpose of what we talked about is to give you a good target. So, that's what it is. But it's good to talk about the different opportunities.
And I did look at that. And I was going to say, Tim, I did look at that. But it's kind of like you want to have your niche program. So once I have my niche going, I know real estate is something that I would want to look at. And, like you were talking about the RBA, I didn't mention equipment financing because when you think about it, that's like the cousin of RBA. Somebody's going to expand. You can get them money, and then you can turn around and say, hey, you need more equipment. Well, let me add on this equipment finance. So it's a perfect add-on for RBA. And when I look at commercial real estate as far as going, and you're right, you have all that. But for this exercise, I wanted to show, follow directions, give you my target, which I do have my target. But then some of those people are going to fit in that criteria as far as real estate, like the mom and pop flippers.
Right.
They're going to be one of those people like, hey, what about me? Well, what do you have for me? I'm glad you asked, mom and pop. I have CRE for you. Or I'm glad you asked, mom and pop. We have this for you.
Right.
So yeah,
perfect.
I want to do it all.
Well, good. Yeah, and that's And that's why we created this process. I'm literally kind of talking in a way that would make you want to do other things, but you've got a great focus. I would just stick with that and not be distracted by the other things in your area. You're going to get people asking for all sorts of stuff. That's what we're here for. When you get something that's sort of outside of what you're doing on a regular basis, we're here to support you on it. But you've got a great focus. I don't want to distract you from that all, because I think you're going to do very well, and you're going to be better than some other offices because you already have your referral sources lined up, and you can start submitting deals right away. One last thing. Tell me about the SBA loan that you submitted recently. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, so it's a company. They're located in Vegas, and I want to say, I don't have the information right in front of me. I want to say they were averaging 1.2 or 1.4 million a year. Mm-hmm. They've been in business for 12 years, and what they wanting is they never wanted to borrow money before. And,
right.
They came to me, he was looking at what they want to expand their business. And I want to say it's $5 million is what they want. They want $5 million, but they're the perfect company for SBA because, I've tried SBA loans before in the past. I think I may have gotten one done through a split. SBAs are hard.
Right.
I mean, you have to have the perfect hair with the perfect eyes, with the perfect white teeth, you have to be perfect on an SBA. And you still may not get approved.
Right.
So the thing with SBAs is it's all about timing. You got to get in when the banks are lending because the banks are only going to do, I think, 1 to 3. They got a requirement they got to do, and that's what they're going to do. So you got to know, and that's the advantage of working with you guys because you guys have the relationships.
Right.
So since you guys have the relationships, you already know which bank is going to do it this month, which bank isn't. So then going to this bank over here does not because you guys know these banks are open this month to do SBA, but it's a company. They're looking for $5 million. They're a great company. They got the history. Are they
looking to buy real estate? Because that's a pretty big loan. What are they? If they want to expand, are they trying to buy a building or something? Or
I'm trying to remember. It was he explained it all. Me and Melissa was on the call, but it's something about they want to through their subscriptions. They have subscriptions that they sell to another service, and they want to keep them. I can get the information and do a private call with you because I can't remember off the top of my head, but he's actually calling in right now, so that's interesting.
Okay. Well, good. We'll go ahead and wrap it up for that. Again, I want to commend you on doing a great job of going through the steps and coming up with a good, targeted, well-thought-out strategy, and we just look forward to helping you execute on it any way we can. We're here to support you in whatever we can do. Thanks again for coming on the call. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, and thank you to all of you for coming on to our live stream today. I hope this was informative for you. I really thought we were going to end up talking about Houston more. So if you came on just to hear about Houston, I apologize that we really didn't do it enough. But we will, over the next week, be having on different people who are experts in disaster recovery. If you're watching this and you're in the Houston area and you think, I want to be the person to help people in my area, and you think it'd be a good fit for you to be a member office, give us a call. I believe the next slide has our phone number. We'll put that up. Give us a call and talk to somebody, and maybe it'll make sense for us to fit you in because we are looking for people in your area. Again, if you could put up that slide with our phone number. We are looking for people in the area. There's going to be a huge need. We literally could have 4 or 5 member offices right in Houston. This is going to be a long-term recovery. And a lot of people will need help, and they will not know where to go. And they're going to go online, but the online lenders, it's going to be harder for them to help people in the area, so they're not going to get the help they need. They're going to go to their local banks. Their local banks, they're going to have their hands tied on what they can do. Plus, each time you go to a local bank, that banker works for the bank. We, as a funding company, we work for the client, and we can take people to resources that the banks will never have. Instead of they may not qualify for an SBA loan, but they can get a private money loan on the commercial real estate they have. Or if you know people that want to help other people by doing fix and flips in the area, that's going to be a huge market with a lot of needs. So we'd love to talk to you because there's a huge opportunity. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for the day. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. We ask you to subscribe to our show if you want to get more updates or you want to get notifications about the disaster recovery calls we're going to do over the next week. And that's it. Thank you very much. We look forward to doing a lot more deals together.